Well, that was unexpected. I thought from the way this game was going, okay, clean 2-0, LDLC moving on to the final. We start thinking ahead, you know, the DreamHack Winter rematch. How will the new NIP of this tournament face up against LDLC? Whoa, 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 whoa. Apparently, Dignitas wins rounds on T side of Inferno now. Did you know this?
Yeah, and the thing is, for me, like watching the game, it feels like LDLC actually already thought that it would be in the finals. The way that they're playing, they're just basically throwing rounds left and right. They're not even playing their own game. They're just running around. I'm actually extremely disappointed in watching LDLC's performance so far in the semifinals, because they really need to step it up.
When Happy, kind of jokingly, but kind of seriously too, told me, like, you know, he showed us when they beat Fnatic yesterday that they're the best team in the world. LDLC's the best Inferno team in the world. After that performance there, I'm not really sure you can say that, mate, because when Fnatic played an IP, yeah, it was a back and forward game. It was a great game. Both teams played incredibly, but they got the key CT rounds they needed. They got the key T rounds they needed. They played a great game at all parts of the game. In this game, LDLC were running away with the first half. Then they kind of cooled off a bit. Dignitas came back into it. Second half, they had it all but sealed up, and they couldn't win CT rounds on a CT-sided map.
Yeah, and obviously, I'm not taking anything away from Dignitas. I was actually quite surprised to see how well they actually executed both the B takes and their A takes. They did a really good job. It's just that knowing LDLC, I thought that it would just put up a better fight.
I really think the actual X factor on that map there was the play of Dupree. Because when they got all those B entries at the last end of the second half, it was him and Cajun got them to that point. He held them in the game, and then Dupree just like closed the game out. And it was a very thrilling final round, sure, but that kind of summarized what happened to LDLC. They had good plays, and then they just got let down at the wrong moments. And one of the most disappointing things I thought actually was the sheer number of saves they tried as CT, which never really did much. All it meant was they just kept... By the way, let's talk about this. As someone who's been an in-game leader in CSGO, in general in CSGO, yes, when the CZ was very powerful, we saw a lot of abuse of it. I've heard teams say, listen, why even save? Don't even try and save guns. Just play, buy the CZ if you lose. But in this particular game, we saw LDLC essentially starve themselves by repeatedly saving 2 guns, half buying, 2 guns, half buy. They never really got a lot of full gun rounds as CT.
Yeah, and again, that's a sloppy mistake from LDLC's part. It's better just to, okay, if you're going to save 1 round, that's fine. But if you keep on saving every round, that's going to happen because your other teammates are forced to buy, basically, because knowing LDLC as well, you saw that during the Dust 2 game as well. They never actually go on an eco. So you're just sitting there with... they were even running shotguns at certain points of the game. Instead of just, okay, just either try to go for retake, because there was a bunch of 2-on-3s, 2-on-2s that you could have just gone for. You might have lost it, but yeah, but then you actually just save together as a team, and you actually get the weapons that you need to actually win the map.
So now we're going to go into the third map, the Decider. We're going to see, does LDLC deserve that final spot? Is Dignitas going to come from behind and rally and make the final for the first time in history? Give me a brief version. Who do you think wins on cash now? Because we didn't even see it going to cash. So who do you see having cash? And do you have a rough score?
LDLC, 16-8.
Yeah, I have LDLC winning this big. They didn't deserve it from that last map, but I feel like cash hasn't been a great map for Dignitas historically. Let's reset everything. 1 map for the final. Take it over casters. It's going to be DDK and Sadakist, I hope.
Well, you're correct. So, Thorin, your prediction game is on point as ever, and now Team Dignitas and LDLC is about to finally match up in cash. Like, what? How does this get to cash? I don't even understand.
I know.
But we'll have to see whether or not LDLC can actually bring the cash game. That usually is very strong for them. Dignitas with this new lineup, what are they going to show here? The pistol already actually is going to be kicking off. Sadakist, we've already got 1 man down here for Dignitas. It's not looking good for them on this A defense.
And they tried to get aggressive early and get a little bit of positional awareness, but they get paid the price for it. And MDK now has 2 as he walks in and also catches Kerrigan, make it 3 on Cajun B, and Kiyoshima always on point as he enters into a bomb site, leaves Dupree as the last man left. So LDLC starting off wise on that on that T side. Although Dupree's got 1, he makes it 2. This is totally doable now, as that was an unbelievable shot. He's going to flash himself in, he pops out. The other player's over toward A main. He's not going to bother contending with him just yet. He tries to go one-on-one with NBK, but NBK, not to be fooled, gets his hat trick. And pardon me, a quad actually. Let me take that back, and they get the round as a result.
Yeah, really nice stuff there. Very simple entry onto the A site there from LDLC. And this is a team which has a lot of good rounds on the T side of this map. In fact, they were one of the first teams to actually, because originally, back when we saw this map played loads in Europe, the European scene, when it was quite new, It was very CT dominant, but LDLC were one of the first sides to kind of start figuring out the T side of things. So going to definitely be expecting a strong T half from them. And they have obviously started off things well with that pistol victory, and already Shoxy opening up onto Dupree here. They didn't actually go for the pistol armor, in fact just investing in some pistols and nothing else here. So Dignitas might even be going for or planning to force up on the next round. So interesting stuff here from them. Or they just want to go for a really huge buy a couple rounds into the future. As we are going to see LDLC very methodically pushing in for this A split here. 3 players. And there's Shoxy now. Oh wow, Zipnix does find the frag there. But it is cleaned up. Cajun B now looking for some damage of his own. Only 1 player down for LDLC right now. And it would be really nice for Dignitas to get a bit of extra damage, but it's not going to happen. And LDLC look fantastic right now. But what are Dignitas going to do here?
Well, they've got a good start on the T side. Very important on cash. It's a little bit more of an open map than the 2 previous ones we saw, but it's still CT-sided in the end.
It's interesting that there's such a light investment from Team Dignitas. It's not incredibly common here. We're just seeing just a small investment of pistols again. So I'm expecting to see double ops straight up on the next round of their buy round, like a huge first buy round from them. So very interested to see how this is going to run. But push coming in onto B right now. They might just be running into this stack here for Dignitas. Huge damage could be in order here for the CT side.
There are 4 players there, like you say. They come around the corner. Smiths with the AK tries to get the first. Shoxy's actually going to beat him to the punch. MBK on the board, and it doesn't even matter that there's 4 because LDLC absolutely annihilates their opponent. So 3-0. Now they get the guns, and we'll see if you're right. They do have 1 op out already. I'm not sure if Zipnix has gone to it yet. No, he hasn't, so it's only going to be an M4.
But it's going to make sure that they have all the grenades. Of course, this can be the annoying pain of going pistol armor, is that eventually, you know, you lose it, you save, then you do get to buy, but you don't get as many grenades, maybe on FAMASs, just to make sure that you do have enough grenades. But LDLC not looking to take things incredibly slowly here, already with a tiny bit of pressure into middle. Shoxy over the top here as they try to contest for this position. We are going to see Dignitas playing it quite passively. Cajun B's ready to actually peek out here. Should there be a flash, but they are going to smoke off the AWPer there. Cajun B going to peek up. They didn't expect it. Has to fall back. Doesn't pull out a kill. Only 50 damage onto Smiths here. In they go. They want to take Dupree and Cajun B down, but they've got other ideas entirely right now. Oh no, they get caught in the crossfire there. Very unfortunate for Dignitas to lose those 2 players.
And the 2 best players make the 2 best plays as Cajun B gets a double. Kiyoshima responds on his own. Those 2, man, they've been so good all night. Dignitas, Kerrigan gonna get caught out. Happy waits patiently, and now he'll nuzzle himself back inside of the vents and join his teammates as they do plant the bomb. Zipnix and Device, all that are left. Device with that op. He hasn't exactly been 100% on point with it in the first 2 maps. Didn't really use it much on Inferno, but Zipnix is going to get NBK. Gets, oh my goodness, onto Happy as well. He almost gets Kiyoshima. There's a chance for Device. He's only got the USP. He gives himself away with that first shot, though. He's going to round the corner. Can he possibly get it? No! Kiyoshima manages to stay alive and gets a 4K on the round. Great from him. And they get another one on the board. LDLC, another early start. We've seen it from them on Inferno, though. Dignitas have the ability to come back.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Fifth Lauren was mentioning earlier, Zipnix originally essentially the star player, showing glimpses of that in moments like that where the guy needs to step up huge for a clutch. That was a really big opportunity he created for Device there. And we're going to see now another save coming in from Dignitas, just some pistols once again. And there is a big presence here from the French side as they move in through B storage into that push now, and they're just keeping it simple right now, just staying together, moving as a unit into that B bomb site, making sure that shenanigans are not going to be they're not going to be party to any shenanigans from Dignitas, and the bomb will go down. Kerrigan does actually pick up an AK, so he's going to try and save this one, but so far LDLC looking really, really strong. And
we said that before, though, when Flaren and I were casting. We mentioned it on Inferno. They look great. But Dignitas made us swallow our words that the early start would be enough because they made a comeback before, so let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. They are on the CT side. They've only got 4 for LDC, so you'll see they could make a comeback quite quickly, and NBK will close out on Kerrigan. 5 on the board now.
All right, so in with the next buy here for Dignitas. A lot of cash for this one. Can choose any setup they want, and actually no AWPs. They could absolutely have afforded as many AWPs as they wanted, but Actually sticking to the rifles here. I mentioned briefly earlier on the analyst desk that Dignitas is one of these teams that can play really, really well with just the rifles. They're very comfortable with those kinds of setups. Smith's going to go in for the quick timing pick there onto the white box. Doesn't find the flick shot though. Does get smoked off. LDLC though over the top with Shoxy as usual. They're on a mission. Carrigan gets taken down, but there's still 2 players left for that mid presence here from Dignitas. They are holding on to that well.
So smart of Shoxy to instinctively peek that off as KGB now gets through the vents. And this is important to note because they actually had really good mid control from the CTs. It was just a stroke of brilliance from Shoxy to get that first kill, but they recovered nicely. Smiths, though, does get one with the AWP onto device. So that's confidence in an off battle 1. As we resume in 3-on-3. Bomb still in the hands of Smiths. Happy lurking in toward the checker room, using that smoke to cross over past Dupree's first line of sight. We'll see if the one-on-one battle goes the way of him, but Happy's not quite ready to take that. Zipnik's scouting out in A main right now.
This is really smart of LDLC. They're using the clock to their advantage, trying to catch rotations. It's actually going to be Happy picking up a kill as there is movement over towards B. That's going to force the effort now onto that B site as Zipnik picks up a kill onto Smiths. KGB very low, but it is going to be a 2-on-2 here on the B bomb site. There it is, the plant going down as Dignitas get into position for the retake.
They got 2 different angles on it because Zipnik came in through the vents. We'll see how they play this. Happy's actually aggressively pursuing Cajun B, who had low HP, but he doesn't do so successfully, so now it's going to have to be Kiyoshima, but again, as always, he's on point, but not on point just enough, as Zipnik gets the kill, and finally Dignitas get around on the board and start to mount what hopefully becomes an average or an expected CT side on in Cash.
Definitely, but they've got to be really cautious now. Of course, heavy losses in that round. Obviously, they had so much money in the bank from that bonus that they still look pretty okay on the cash. Well, okay as you could expect after all of that, but they will have to rebuy, so that's going to really put a dent in that economy. And Dignitas, if they lose this, they're going to be down that slippery slope where no more money bonus and it all gets away from them. And they have to get rounds now. They cannot afford to let LDLC keep the pressure up. Shoxy again with these opening kills over the top into middle as they are just trying to take control and trying to force Dignitas out of it. Dignitas, though, they're not shy. They're happy to try to challenge for this. But this time around, it's going to be LDLC that are going to take it over. And that is going to put Cajun B and Dupree to a 2-on-3, and both players, in fact, have been playing excellently, especially Cajun B on Inferno previous to this match.
Happy trying to find an angle back toward Truck to get another kill because they were both over on A side. He's still going to actually push forward as he comes around Truck. He's got Cajun B's back directly in front of him. He'll take his time to line it up. No, he won't actually. He misses on that spam, although he does connect this time. But Dupree turns around and puts him down, so he lives to fight on against both NBK and Kiyoshima and a ticking bomb. Although I don't think he's going to make that choice consciously as he runs back now and tries to hold on to that M4. So LDLC resume the performance that they had and importantly reset the money bonus for Dignitas.
Yeah, and one key thing here is just how much emphasis LDLC are putting on middle. It's so important. And even in that round where it was a 3-on-3, they just sat in middle. They just waited. They just actually just waited. They did send one guy into the vents, and I think it was Happy. He did actually find a kill as he heard a player running and took advantage of that opportunity. But it gives you so many options here. And eventually, Dignitas, who have been challenging against LDLC, I mean, how are they?
Kiyoshima living up to the words that he's put permanently on his arm. Be the best you can be. Well, Kiyoshima, you are being the best of everyone right now, in my opinion. So good on his entries all night.
Yeah, and Dignitas, they can't let LDLC keep bullying them off of map control here. Oh, there it is.
Be
Great
the
entry.
best you can be. Words to live up to. Nice shot, Kiyoshima. Comes around the corner. Smith's going to resume duties. Takes down Cajun B, and Happy at middle. Sprays away. What a great control of that recoil. Picks up 2. Device angrily puts him back down, but again, a 1-on-4 as the bomb's down. There's low HP on both NBK and Smiths. Shoxy only with 44, but you've still got to contend with 4 people on 4 different angles.
Yeah. It's a pretty rough start here for Dignitas. I would love to see the 2 orbs set up from them, and they have actually been in a position to actually play with that. And that actually is kind of like the dominant way that the majority of top teams play this now. You see, now that NIP have Michael Elliott. They actually can play this now with Forest. LDLC have the ability to play this as well. Having Shoxy on the op as well as Happy and Smiths, they can all op really well. So lots of teams in the very top echelons go to this double op setup, but we see that Dignitas didn't seem to be going for that when they had the opportunity. They didn't seem quite comfortable enough. And this mid control from LDLC is where they're finding a lot of frags as well. So Dignitas can choose a setup where they give it up, but they have to know how to play with that. And LDLC, they know how to really put the pressure on once they have mid.
And they're going to get mid almost for free right now.
It's smart though, they only have Famises, so it makes a lot of sense.
But they're still... didn't even really put much smokes or anything as they fell off of it. Device going to rotate actually up Turnpike, back down the CT ramp, and take an angle on C just to make sure they don't push through. And they're going to come up Turnpike in toward A. That one smoke just holding them off temporarily. But now they'll come through, and a good flash as that's going to catch out Cajun B. And now Smiths is going to continue 3, but Kerrigan is still alive and still causing a disturbance. And Dupree on the rotate also gets MBK. So Dignitas held this off well. And like you said, it might have been the right choice to give up middle with these FAMASes. As both Happy and Kiyoshima all that remain. 7-1. Dignitas want to get another one on the board desperately right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of risk to giving up middle, but with this kind of a setup, it's well, they can really hope to achieve. But we do still have Happy and Kiyoshima. Like these two guys, I mean, clutching their hearts out all day. So this 2-on-4 could go the way of LDLC. It's all on to Kiyoshima now, but there you go, Carrigan and Zitless to clean it up. And Dignitas getting a couple rounds on the board now. And yeah, the problem with giving middle up is that your rotation can get cut off so hardcore from A to B. So if B ends up getting hit, then you're typically not going to have more than 2 players on B. So it can get really, really scary really fast as they can delay that A rotation, get the perfect post-plant setup. It gets really ugly. So hopefully for Dignitas, they find a way to reclaim middle, and they are going to put the efforts there. Now they have better weapons. Good nades over the top there.
Didn't really connect though. Detonated too soon in the air, so no damage dealt.
It was a good idea though. Lots of boosting from shocks. Actually not in this round. If they'd actually boosted shocks up again, it would have connected I think quite well, but pick and a spread and a pick kind of approach here from LDLC.
Thought Happy was going to go back and actually boost him late, but they didn't do that either, so they don't even want to contest middle, interestingly enough.
I've got a feeling that LDLC are going to come back for a delayed mid-take, but we'll have to see right now how they read the situation. There's a smoke actually to put some pressure on, but you can see the counter grenades coming in. Doesn't seem to bother Happy at all. He's going to run through that, try to get the pressure on here. And there is Carrigan by Forklift. In comes the push now onto the B bomb site. That rotation was initiated there for Dignitas, but now they're hightailing it back to the B site. Now they know the intentions, a true call here for LDLC. As Carrigan does shut down Happy over at A. And this is a great defense here from Dignitas. Shoxy in with a kill, but it's not going to mean all that much in the face of Device's AK. And that's another round for Dignitas.
10 in the book, 7-3. LDLC, that's excellent on cash. There's no question. 7 is the goal. One of the optimistic goals at that, so they've done the job. Let's see what else they can get on the board. Dignitas start to claw back now. They look a lot more organized in the last couple of rounds, even though they are giving up mid. There are teams that we do talk about how mid presence on this map can be so effective as it just kind of divides and conquers, gives you the vents, gives you that turnpike onto A. But there are a lot of teams that, especially in North America, which ultimately isn't the best example to go by sometimes, that do elect to fall back off of it and just play the angles on the sites alone and go for retakes. And right now, it feels like Dignitas has gone to that, but they actually have put 2 back in middle.
Yeah, I mean, we have a bit of just an absent, well, completely absent on the A bomb site here from Dignitas. No defense there at all. Big pressure on middle, but they didn't catch the movement from LDLC, who just strode into the bomb site. This is massive right now for LDLC. Dignitas cannot afford to drop any rounds. They're getting absolutely crushed right here as the bomb will go down on the A site. Post plant looks pretty good, but sneaky position there from Carrigan, but it's going to get cleaned up. And that's another round there for LDLC. And yeah, lots of mid presence that round, but LDLC were more than happy. The thing with the mid presence is you've got to get the information. The point of it is that you can quickly rotate, but there we saw that they got completely caught off guard. They didn't have anybody to actually spot into A, to actually get the rotation going. The closest guy they had to the A site was all the way back on truck. That's so far away. You get smoked off immediately, so you can't even delay the push. So very interesting choice by Dignitas there, and it really hurt them.
Device still can't win the hop battles he needs to. And that's honestly made a huge difference for Dignitas. If he was on every game, it might be a whole different scenario. We might not even be in map 3. As KGB will pick up his op and try and play that angle in response, but that smoke comes out just in time to force him back, and now Happy's going to get Kerrigan. So they're doing really well here, but Xipnix is going to at least slow them down as they try and get inside A. Shoxy is in A main with that, nice nade from Smiths. With that bomb now, as I was saying with Shoxy coming in. KGB, the only one there trying to defend is from Truck. They are going to plant it actually over toward that turnpike because they've got full middle control, and Shoxy can actually cover this off from Squeaky if he wanted to. They're going to flash KGB out. Dupree, though, might actually catch Smiths out from behind, and if he could pinch onto Kiyoshima, well, no, they're going to actually just go for the save, but they had caught Kiyoshima and knew that he was there. They might have been able to force it into a 2-on-1 that was workable.
Yeah, it's like a really hard situation there. You saw that they basically got smoked out of middle, and then all of a sudden, KGB with the AWP is kind of actually useless because he's caught between rotations. They don't know he doesn't know whether or not he has to go to A or to B yet because there's pressure on B stories, there's pressure on A. So where does he go? It's really, really hard to know, and this is another reason why middle control can be so crucial. And eventually he did get up to Truck, but it was far too late there, and LDLC really very good on this pressure so far, and they are definitely outplaying Dignitas on cash here right now. But Dignitas, they had a pretty interestingly strong, well, unusually strong Inferno T side for them, so perhaps they can show that on this map as well.
Cajun B, interestingly, picked up the AWP this round, so... Sorry, Device, you've been demoted. He goes to the 5-7. They also got Kerrigan with a shotgun, and wow, good call with that AWP as Cajun B opens things up on Shoxy, but Smith's equal to the task will take him down in response, and that'll slow things on that initial B play. Kiyoshima, low HP though, does catch Kerrigan pushing toward middle, so LDLC again with the man advantage. Device though, pushed up, might catch Kiyoshima, who is just watching off on those vents, making sure there's no one there, and if he comes through carelessly, he sees the shoulder, but Device, what a shot! Gets him on the head, and that bomb's still down in middle. Device doesn't know it, so he's gonna fall back, but they've gotta go back for it at some point. Happy's gonna be the one that does it on the rotate. 3-on-3, and Dignitas still don't have quite an idea of exactly where LDLC are going, so the advantage is in their hands.
Yeah, this is a really nice round actually so far from LDLC. MBK can actually get a nice kill onto Device in middle, and still, it's completely obscure. They have no idea which way the bomb can go at this point. LDLC can take it absolutely anywhere they choose. And Xipnix is going to be on the A site here, so to find some contact. Only with a 5-7, not going to find any luck there, and the bomb is going to go down here, and Dupree likely going to go for the save. But actually, LDLC did something really interesting there, and I'm not sure if this was the thinking behind it, but essentially they had this spot where they were able to push onto B quite quickly, and they were then ready to go for the split, but instead of putting the bomb on the guys who were in B storage, they actually left it in middle and actually held their positions and kind of rotated back a little bit. So what they could do is spot for rotation in mid and catch anyone rotating, and if B turned out to be completely clear, then they can still take the bomb to B. If they catch the rotation, they can still go to A. So it was a really, really interesting play from them to basically try to catch things that's out of position and just abuse them. But you can see that they have a really good understanding of how to play against the rotation of the CTs on this map.
Double digits T side. Not common, I say that on Cash. And LDLC playing some classy CS right now, no doubt about it.
Oh yeah.
Dupree at least does get 2 weapons down in the end of the round. But it's all for naught at this point. They need rounds, they don't need weapons. Weapons might help, but at this point, do it with your knife if you have to, just get them.
Yeah, one of the reasons why the double ult setup is can be so important on this map is that it allows your team to actually have the 3-man setup on middle and actually still have a strong defense on A by having, like, let's say your Kenny S on the quad or JW on quad, or having a strong AWP on the B storage angle who can delay enough with the AWP. But Dignitas not working with that just yet, not with the kind of standard meta of CT defense, but LDLC on 10 rounds to the 3 of Dignitas, so LDLC definitely with a big advantage here right now, leaving the responsibility of A to Xipnix, in with the counter grenades, Rotation will be coming in, but Xyp9x has to put the delay on. The smoke is actually quite good here, but Xyp9x is going to have an insane result. There it is, 2 frags coming out from the man. Falls back to quad. That's enough time delayed now. His teammates coming back in. Xyp9x with number 3 does finally go down. Actually, no, he gets a 4th one. It's Karrigan that falls to the ground. This man will not go down. As Happy's the last man standing here for this push, and CageNB going to shut him down. Star performance there from Xyp9x to pull out the round for Dignitas. That's 4 for them, though.
And one of the things I will say about Dignitas, despite this being slightly lopsided on the score, they still look very focused. They're not down and out. They know that they came back on Inferno. They can do it again here. It's not uncommon this weekend that I've peered over my shoulder and seen absolutely dejected teams in this position. So good for them. They look motivated, although they didn't high-five. They wanted to get right back to business. So another round on the board. They can see if they can at least get the last one in the first half. They've got LDLC down to just working with 3 pistols and 2 AKs. We'll see if they can make something out of this play as Happy now heads towards Squeaky. Shoxy's in A main. Xyp9x has changed his angle to try and compensate for that. And Karrigan's pushed up underneath the boost at middle. This could be quite interesting.
They're actually into the A site with a couple players here. This could get quite dangerous. Smith's going to pick up Karrigan. CageNB goes down to Shoxy as well. Things looking quite tumultuous here on the A bomb site now. Happy gonna try to find himself in a good position here, ready to actually do more damage with the CZ. We know how powerful it is for LDLC to play with that weapon. dupreeh and Device for the save here, for that 5th round, the round that they should get here. But the bomb is gonna get planted. Oh no! Slam dunk with the grenade there. MBK on Forklift, gonna take down dupreeh. Now it's on Device. Can Device bring it back here? This guy is incredibly skilled with any kind of a weapon. Here it is, 1-on-1 against MBK as that bomb goes down. MBK really low now, 1 HP in fact. Happy is also fairly low. Device just has to get right on the timing here. And he's going to get taken down by the double peak. That's an 11-4 first half for LDLC on the T side of Cash. That is a huge result for them. Dignitas, it's going to take so much composure to actually push through this, because they know that that's a terrible result for them. They know it.
We talked a bit about Xyp9x before the whole series began, and Flaren mentioned how he used to be such a potent player for them, one of their stars. In the last 2 rounds, he actually came on and took over the frag lead for them, but Device is still only on 5. He's got to pick it up. I always feel bad calling out a player so much, but they're pros. They've got to play, and they're in a big moment right now. They're trying to get through, break that trend of always going out in the semifinals, and get to their first opportunity for the first gold medal, and it has to be a team effort. So, I'm sorry, Device, that includes you.
The thing for me is mostly, for me it's not any one player, but for me it would more or less be the general approach to the CT defense. The fact that they're a great CT side, but it feels like some of their setups, they really got caught off guard by, there was like weaknesses all over the place in middle, over on A, their rotations were slow, they were being bullied around on the map control by LDLC, and they're a great side, but Dignitas, we know they can do a much better result. Either way, it's all on this pistol here. This is potentially, well, this is the last half of today here at the MLG X Games.
Unless we go to overtime, you could be wrong.
Unless you get to overtime, that's a good point. Thanks for the save.
Technicality.
All right, so very interesting stuff here. Now, if you look at all the grenades here on Dignitas, lots of grenades to work with.
Happy very smartly pushing up, though, just outside the doors of A main. He's the only one over there, though, because the rest of them have favored either middle or B. They will start to rotate back, although that might be premature. They might be being sold here because the bomb's dropped in middle and they haven't actually committed to A. So Dignitas forcing LDLC to move the map and get out of their comfort zone early. Might play to their advantage. Device now takes the bomb over toward B, and it looks like actually the rest of them are creeping that direction as well. They will go for a mid boost. It is CageNB up above, as well as Xyp9x. Kiyoshima is back in Z connector though, and would be there to spot them as they came over. But as soon as they do come over, they'll immediately go to the vents, and then it'll all be on Shoxy to hold them off.
Shoxy is the pistol Jesus, but can he be Jesus right now? We've got Kiyoshima in a bit of an engagement there. Going to spot all the players, keep himself alive for the defense. They're actually wanting to push connector, in fact. KGB getting up close and personal there with Karrigan. So instead of actually going to vents, they're going straight through the middle to cut off the rotation. There is Shoxy though, coming in with great kills, all on Karrigan against 5 players. And they know exactly where he is. The bomb is down. Carrigan, though, going to pick up a second frag. MBK is quite low, but Carrigan, only 42 health himself here. Going to get tagged in the back and gunned down by Smiths. So LDLC going to take the pistol. And it is looking like an anticlimactic third map here as LDLC seem to be outclassing their opponents, Dignitas, completely on this map.
I don't know the name of his good luck charm, but it's going to have to come up big. It might have to be the MVP for Dignitas right now.
They need something special. And we're going to see now just the save from them. Have to see if LDLC can take this cleanly now.
Dignitas are...
They're going to do it. They're going to all go over the top at once here. But look at this range that Smiths has. And they only have one P250. They don't even have pistols that can perform at range. It's going to be just a shooting gallery for Smiths. He doesn't have armor, though. But MBK's there by the white box. And he's going to clean it up and hold the drama. It's all okay here for LDLC, as it's just Carrigan left there.
And Happy will take him down. So 13 already. No plants in the first 2 rounds. Not even many kills, in fact. I think only just the 1 on the first round. So they can't even really force, although they're going to. They're going to gamble and go all in. Device goes for that Galil. So does Cajun B now. Kerrigan able to get an AK, so this is a gamble without a doubt. And
I like this from them. I mean,
if they can do it, why not? They have to at this point.
Yeah,
I mean, play.
It depends on the style of play you want, but there are definitely a lot of in-game leaders that will say that when you're behind this much, as soon as you can actually feel some kind of a buy, you're behind no matter what. You just got to make it happen. Might just get the counter boost coming up here.
And who is it that's going over? It is going to be Kiyoshima with the shotgun. I thought that might be the case. And if he drops down and goes into A main, he's actually going to pass it and head out toward long. If he had walked into main, he had 3 right in front of him. He still may get Kerrigan, but he's already through the blue door. But Happy, oh my goodness, a 3K with the FAMAS. Don't go to A site, because Happy will make you quite sad as he comes out with an easy 3K. KGB, all that remains now for Dignitas, and it's 2 rounds away from LDLC getting the DreamHack Winter rematch against NIP.
Yeah, it's looking really rough for them right now. You can see that they're starting to look very frustrated, kind of tired, very drawn looks on their faces. And it's definitely very rough. Dignitas, they really came back in that last map against all the odds. Honestly, that last map, that last Inferno, was one of the most interesting maps of the tournament, to me at least. And, well, they're going to have to settle for the pistol armor right now. The quick push through middle, the B split is what they want. Kiyoshima in with a double there with the mag. Very swaggy play there from him. 2 players left. Dupree and Device coming in to that play onto B. Going to be the headshot onto Smiths. Device now against 3 players. Going to get eliminated by Happy, who has been spraying like a monster. His spray control in this tournament has actually been somewhat phenomenal. But Dignitas, once again, going to be forcing it up, and that's what they committed themselves to with that earlier force by LDLC. 1 round away from moving on to the finals against NIP, and that's going to be a rematch of the DreamHack Winter 2014 Grand Finals, which
went the distance.
It went the distance. It was essentially, to me, as to so many others, the best series of last year. At least to me, is the most enjoyable one.
Oh, I completely agree, but let's not write off Dignitas. They've shown some new skill and poise with this new roster, and they played some great CS this weekend, forced overtime on NIP. And some other great performances as well, including taking down LDLC on what they claim to be their best map, Inferno. Dupree's actually going to get Smiths. Kiyoshima goes back into him, so there is only 3 men left for Dignitas.
LDLC making the movement now to reinforce A, instead of just leaving Happy there. He's only got 9 health, so it's a smart move. They do have a good beat on the situation, actually. They've got a lot of information now. In they come. MBK by Forklift does get eliminated by Zipnix immediately. Happy, he's got no health at the back of the site. In he goes, though. Does take 1 player down. It's a 2-on-2 now here for Team Dignitas. And they pull this one off. Shoxy to take down Device. Zipnix in the 1-on-1. Gonna be against Kiyoshima. He gets it. Great plays from him. Zipnix gonna keep them alive a moment longer, but they need 10 in a row on the T side of Cash here to try to get this to overtime.
And MBK already grabbed an op and passed it off to his teammate Smith, so they're still going to be in good position money-wise, as all of them have rifles to work with. But Dignitas not done with their stateside X Games experience just yet. And what an experience it's been, not just for the teams, but for everyone. This has been a tournament to savor as a fan of Counter-Strike. Unpredictability on day one, 1-1, all 8 teams. And then today, some really structured gameplay from the Europeans, and they're the last 4 that remain. And now Dignitas is going to steamroll their way into B, so they're building on this momentum. Device gets the first kill. But now NBK will respond. Zipnix drops CageNB immediately there to trade, and they are going to get the bomb down. Kiyoshima looking for the retake. Shoxy's there as well, and Shoxy's actually going to get a double. Device, though, is on point with that one, but they will get it. That's going to do it. LDLC going through to your final. It's going to be France versus Sweden for the first time again since DreamHack. We mentioned it, a rematch, but by all means, everyone, put your hands together for both of these teams because they both showed off some heavy gameplay and showed off why they are world class.
It came so close. Dignitas almost broke the curse. They have this horrible kind of like Brian said, this cloud of this state of choking, like that follows them around. Carrigan came in. A big difference here. We saw a much more competitive Dignitas in the semi-final. They got so close, but it wasn't quite enough. They couldn't close this time. Hopefully, you know, wish them all the luck in the future because this team does look so insane.
Carrigan in there.
Oh yeah.
It seems like he's got a good start with them, and they seem to have some good chemistry.
Their
with
skills
him as well.
off the charts, like it really is. But we're going to get that rematch. We're going to get that rematch from the last major, and I think that is something that everyone can look forward to.
And don't forget, we still have the bronze medal games, so they've got to come back tomorrow, Dignitas, and go against Fnatic to get, they still have a medal on the board, and that's quite something to be proud of at the first ever X Games for Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Unbelievable tournament. I'm beside myself. It's been great experience for me, great experience to savor, and I just can't wait to see how much better it's going to be tomorrow, because how good can it be? Puckett is on the floor with Happy, who now have to face NIP in the final.
All right, thank you guys. I am here with Happy from LDLC. You guys are going to the gold medal match tomorrow, noon Eastern, or excuse me, noon Mountain Time. That's going to be about 2 p.m. Eastern. But talk to me, how are you feeling right now? Dignitas, bit of a shocker there on Inferno.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shock that we lost Inferno because we had, I think, a pretty huge lead in City. And obviously it's one of our strongest maps, so Dignitas played our weakness. Strangely, it was Banana with me and NBK, but yeah, congrats to them.
Now that final map went pretty quickly. You looked very strong on Cash. Talk to me about that final game. What was the communication amongst the team? What were you saying going into that last map?
We said that we are going to win this match thanks to our mentality. And I think we did. Like, we were really aggressive. We won like almost every duel we took. And Cash is actually one of the maps we played the most before coming here. And I think, yeah, it paid off.
You guys looked incredible. You just have one more team to go through. That is NIP tomorrow in the gold medal match. Best of luck there. I'll let you go celebrate with the team. Enjoy your Saturday night. Want to give a big thanks to everyone who is tuning in this evening, including our analysts. We got Thorn and Fifth Laren. Guys, break it down, the final match from Saturday night.
Well, we kind of alluded to Game 2, the Inferno game. Yeah, Dignitas, they got the kills, Dupree had kills, Cajun had kills. They had some T-side rounds, but it was kind of an LDLC throw. Felt like LDLC had it and they let it slip. This time around, though, there was nothing left to be debated, question marks, there's nothing. They just ran over the T-side on a CT-sided map, and they were in no trouble of losing this map at any time.
No, I think they realized their mistake on Inferno versus Dignitas there, well, that they basically just through the game. Yeah, sure, Dignitas played well, but we both know that LDLC can play better on Inferno. It was actually quite funny to hear Happy there saying that it's one of their best maps now.
It's interesting how it shifts around depending on the results.
Used to be their best map.
Happy's going to make a great play-by-play commentator one day.
Yeah.
You just wait to see what the result is, then you just change your opinion to be that.
No, but during the Cash game as well, you actually see LDLC, yeah, sure, Dignitas couldn't really say anything. It's actually quite strange, to be honest. Dignitas always known for being a very CT-sided team. Yeah. On all 3 maps during the semifinal here, they've actually had like extreme issues on their CT side, which is a shocker to me. But yeah, nonetheless, LDLC, it's playing extremely well. I feel like this, the Cash score that they had, I felt like in a way it should have been like that on Inferno as well. But yeah, 2-1. LDLC is through, and to be honest, I'm actually looking forward to actually see another rematch, NIP versus LDLC.
I mean, in that series there, had it have ended on Inferno, I think I would have actually given Smiths the MVP for the series. He played a great game. His AWPing was on point. He didn't need the CZ to be the mini JW. He just did it on his own. He was very impressive. The third map, though, we've got to talk about this guy, the natural born killer. You know him from Source, NBK. This guy went 23-8, and he had 125 average damage per round, and he's playing mainly on the T side of Cash. That's a monster performance.
Oh yeah, it really is, and that just shows how when MBK gets angry. I mean, I'm pretty sure he was really frustrated after the Inferno game. He's just going to give it his all because he really wants to play for that gold medal, and obviously he really showed for it. He was by far the best player on LDLC.
I mean, I know, yeah, like you said, when he gets angry, because listen, he's a guy where the emotions bubble up. Either he takes it out on the opponent, or he's going to go on that Twitter and he's going to tear it up, you know.
Or, I don't know, I think it was Faces or whatever he's knocking on his keyboard. So he has
he smashed his keyboard.
Yeah, he has a few different ways of showing his anger, but yeah, I'm guessing, well, today he took it out on Dignitas.
Okay, let's very briefly just touch on the final then, because that's the one that was setting up that. It's the rematch, DreamHack Winter. Now that time, every NIP fan's like, oh, they were so close. They were at map game series point. They had 2 chances to win. All the LDLC fans are like, oh, finally they got it together. Finally they won. Are you leaning either way at the moment? Are you confused? Is it complicated? What's it currently like for you?
No, the thing is that's going around my head right now is that every single time I bet against NIP, during DreamHack Winter, I don't think during the whole playoff game I told them they're going to lose against Hellraisers versus Pro. They're not going to stand a chance versus LDLC. They proved me wrong today again versus Fnatic. I said they're going to lose against Fnatic. Yeah. Tomorrow I'm going to go the complete opposite. NIP will actually win this one.
Because unsurprisingly, cried the NIP faithful.
No, the thing is,
I'm feeling like LDLC.
You can't say I'm biased anymore because I've actually bet against NIP.
I'm saying they're going to think I'm biased because I'm going to say I still think LDLC is going to win. Now, the crucial thing that worries me though is what's going to happen when they play Inferno, because they're both definitely going to play Inferno. They both love it, and if LDLC play like they did today on Inferno, they're going to lose it. Yep. So I think if LDLC can win Inferno, they'll win the series. So we're both going a different way. We'll see you all tomorrow, and it'll start off with the third place game, which is going to be 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Fnatic play Dignitas. Let's see who can finish third. Team Dignitas usually finish 3rd to 4th. Can they just knock off the hyphen 4th? They can finish 3rd at least. Can Fnatic at least show us something to finish the tournament, to finish on a high? And then obviously following that, 12:30 p.m. roughly, Mountain Time, we'll have that final. The rematch of DreamHack Winter, you don't want to miss it. It's got the potential for all the fireworks. Can NIP win their first lineup with Makaleli? This is the BenQ best player apparently. Hopefully that's the end of the tournament. We're going to throw it back down to Pocket to end the day. No? Apparently that's it. So I'll see you tomorrow. Get your popcorn, get your Coke. Enjoy some great Counter-Strike.
It's over.